Hello everyone, I'm Inchuga and welcome to Orange Studios. In today's tutorial, we'll be learning how to open documents and save documents in Photoshop. Let's jump in. To start Photoshop, go to Windows if you are using Windows, find Photoshop and open it. Allow it to load while you wait. Now, once you're in Photoshop, to start a new document, you can use the shortcut key Ctrl+N to open a new document, or you can go to File, click on File, click on New, and you will have this pop-up menu appearing. Now let's try the shortcut and see. Ctrl+N, yes, and it just appears. Let's go back and try the file. Go to File, click on New, and the document is open. So now that you're in Photoshop, you can have access to several templates from the software. There is the recent files recent templates you've already worked on, and these are the ones you have here. You can also have documents you've previously saved or template size you've already saved. You can also have the options of photo, so photo images. If you are printing a picture, there are several sizes that Photoshop gives you templates of. So there's the landscape, which is 6x4 300 ppi, or 3x2 300 ppi, as in 300 pixels per inch. There's also the landscape 7x5 300 ppi, as in 300 pixels per inch. So there are several options from which you can choose from. Now let's go to print, where we'll be focusing on today. So in print, just like photo, there are several templates Photoshop has already made available. There's the letter, legal, tabloid, A4, A6, A5, A3, B5, B4, B3, and more. Now, once you know what you're working on, if what you're working on is not a custom template like A4 or A3 or A5, and it's a template size or it's a canvas size, or it's a custom size you're working on, you can move to the width and type in the sizes you want to work with. Now let's say we are working with 10 inches by 24 inches, 10 inches for width, 24 inches for height. We can come over here and simply type 10 inches for width and then 24 inches for height, and that is the size Photoshop will create for you. Before then, right below the preset details, you have the chance or the option to name your file even before you start it. So let's name this try1. Once the document is opened or created, this will be the name of that document. Let's move down here. You see resolution. What is resolution? Resolution simply means the size or quality of the image. What will be the quality of the image you are working on, or what will be the quality of the artwork you are working on? The higher the resolution, the higher the quality of the image. The lower the resolution, the lower the quality of the image to be produced. Now, resolutions are measured majorly in pixels per inch into 300 ppi. Let's move down on. Over here we have what we call the color mode. There are several presets of color modes. There's the bitmap, grayscale, RGB, CMYK, and lab color. Now, in today's tutorial, we're focusing on two, RGB and CMYK. What is RGB? RGB simply means red, green, blue. RGB is used for screen purposes. So if you are designing for screen, for social media, the best color code to go for is RGB. CMYK. Now CMYK simply means cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. Now we use CMYK when we are working on a print media. So for instance, if you are working on something that is to be printed, the best color code to go for is CMYK. For the purpose of today's tutorial, let's just stick with CMYK. Now, over here you have the option of choosing the background color. You can choose to make it black, white, or the background color which is already here, or make it transparent or custom, as in choose which color becomes the background. Let us try it and see. So we can pick a color from this side, any color of your choice. Let's settle with this. Now once we create a document, the document would appear in this background. Let's create it. And there you go. The document we created was 10 inch by 24 inch. And so we have 10 inches, 24 inches. We created a document to have a green background. And so that is the reason why the document opened with a green background, as stated here. So this is the background. And the background is always locked. You can unlock the background, but today we will not go to unlocking backgrounds. Let's open another document and this time choose a different background color. This time let's use the shortcut key, Ctrl+N. Once again, we get this new document menu that pops up. Let's name this Try To. Let's choose a different width. This time let's go with A4. In the previous document we opened it in portrait. This time let's try landscape. To make a landscape, there's these two icons here you can toggle between. So to give it a portrait look, you click on this. To give it a portrait look, you click on this. You only click on this when you want to have several artboards on one canvas space or on one image space. Let's not go there for today. Now, once again, remember, the higher the resolution, the higher the image quality or the image size. The lower the resolution, the lower the image size or image quality. Previously, we chose CMYK. This time, let's stick with RGB. Now, let's go for white background in this case. And so here you have it. We have created a new document in the landscape orientation. We also decided that the document will come with a white background, and so there you have it. Okay, so once the document is created, whatever you do in Photoshop, you can save it and later work on it as a PSD file or save it as a picture. There are several file formats from which you can save your document. Now, once you've opened the document and have worked on an artwork or edited a photo, you can save the document as a PSD file so you can later go back and work on it, or save it as a JPEG just to be shared on social media or printed out. And remember, if you are working on a subject or a work that must be printed out, you use CMYK color code. If you are using for screen purpose like on social media, you stick with RGB. Now let's work with a tool that will be explained in details in the next tutorial. Let's work with the type tool. To activate the type tool, click on the type tool. Choose either of the options you have here. Move your mouse over to your canvas area, this area on which we are going to work. Now click once and have the cursor showing. What do we want to write? Let's say we want to write testing try to document 2. Let's type it out. Now, to commit the type, we have to come over to this check sign and click on it. If we don't want to commit this type we've done, we move over to this icon and click on it. Let's commit our work. Now, to move this type tool or this text around, we can move over here to the move tool, click on it to get it activated, come over and move it wherever we want. Now, the text looks too small on the background. Can we make it big? Yes, we can make it big. We can make it big by increasing the font size over here in the layer panel. The layer panel will be explained in the next tutorial. Now, let's choose a size. Let's say 60. It looks cramped up. It looks cramped up because the spacing in between is smaller than the font size. You can solve this by easily clicking on the drop down menu here and selecting auto so that Photoshop will adjust it according to the font size. You can also adjust this to whatever spacing you prefer. Let's try something else and see if it works. Now, we have a font size of 60. Let's try working with 60. There you have it. So this is it. We have realigned the spacing between the two sentences. Let's move it down here. Now this is our document. We want to save this. How do we save this? To save this document, move your mouse over to File. Click on Save. This option will pop out. You have the option to save it on your cloud or save it directly on your PC. Let's go over and save it on the PC. Now over here, you also have the opportunity to change the name of the file. Earlier on, we chose to name it try2. If you want to amend it, we can make it try2 or any other name you want. Let's stick to try2. Over here, you have the option to save as Photoshop PSD, which is a document you can work on some other time. Just like you can see up here, these are what we call the PSD files. You can as well decide to save it as a picture. To save it in a picture format, you can go for JPEG. Or if you want to save it as a PNG, that is a document without background, you can also choose PNG. Now, with the document we are working on, we had a background active, so saving PNG won't make sense. Let's save it as a JPEG. Now, over here, you have the option to reduce the file size. You want to have a large file size or a small file size. So you can choose between high and low, or you can quickly come here and choose whichever medium you want. You want a low file size, a medium, high, or maximum. Let's stick to maximum. Now, once this is done, you click on OK and your file is saved. Let's see if we can locate the file. So there you go. This is the file we worked on, and there it is saved here, try2, in a JPEG file. The file size was 364 kilobytes. Now let's try and save this as a PSD file. Close Photoshop and see if we can open it again. So again, File, Save. Let's choose to save on our PC. Let's maintain the name try2. Let's maintain PSD. Let's click on Save. Click on OK. Now your Photoshop file has been saved. So you realize the file name has now changed from try2 to try2.psd. Now you can notice that from here. Over here, we've not yet saved the document as a PSD file, so it is simply try1. Over here, we saved it as a PSD file, so it is saved try2.psd. Let's try and save this as a PSD file and see if it changes. Again, let's come over here and save as. Save on document. Try1, we are saving as a PSD file. You notice try2 is also here as a PSD file. Let's save and see. Now, notice try1 has now changed from try1 to try1.psd. That means the file has been saved as a PSD file. Let's close Photoshop and see if we can recover and rework on those files. In our documents, let's try and locate the PSD file we saved. Right click to open. Open. The document we worked on previously and closed Photoshop has been recovered, and now we can make amendments to it if we want. Let's try and make amendments and see if it works. Let's select the type tool, which can be selected with the shortcut T to activate. Let's highlight the testing and change that color to a more darker color. Now, click on this icon to commit the change. So there you have it. We created a document, worked on the document, we saved it, and we have reopened the document to edit some parts of the document. So that is how to open a new document in Photoshop and save a new document in Photoshop. Let's go over the whole thing again. To open a new document, you can either use the shortcut Ctrl+N to open a new document, or you move over to the file, click on Open New, and you open a new document. Now, to save a document, you can use the shortcut key Ctrl+S, or you move over to File and then click on Save to save your document. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. You can also like, comment, and share.